Hey guys, welcome back to From Home to Hustle. I'm your host, Kelly Campbell. And like I've said, I just love hearing stories of other stay-at-home moms who are, balancing work and home. And I think it is just an amazing thing that the Lord is putting on the hearts of women now. And so my guest today is Joy Farley. I'm going to read you her bio really quick. Joy is a wife, a mom of four, a mentor, speaker, business strategist dedicated to helping Christian women build sustainable businesses that provide financial freedom and time flexibility. Whoa, right there. That is like, sign me up. With a passion for empowering busy working moms, she guides women with strong work ethics and a heart for Jesus to create income in a way that aligns with her values without the constant hustle. Through organic engagement, real connections, and proven strategies, she equips women to achieve lasting success in business and life. Wow, Joy, welcome.
Thank you, Kelly. I'm so excited to be here.
Me too. Me too. I love like instant connections. And so, for those who don't know, Joy and I actually just met like last week
Mhm.
through Facebook, through Messenger. And so there is power in social media. So I'll just say this really quick. If you're wanting to get started, social media is the place to be getting started. I wouldn't say it's the be all end all, but it is definitely like the place to get your feet wet. So overcome those fears, overcome that imposter syndrome, and start posting and connecting with other like-minded women, and you will be blown away. But so with that being said, I want to get this conversation started because if you're like us, you're busy moms, we're busy moms. And so we just want to dive right in to Joy's story and how she just got started with business and being a stay-at-home mom and balancing it all. So, Joy, I want to hear.
Okay, so first of all, I just want everyone to understand I don't even believe in balance. I think that is a myth, okay? But I do like to call it harmony. I believe that there can be harmony in our lives between our business and our lives. But balance, I gave up I gave up on that a long time ago.
Mhm.
But anyway, so let's see. I started, so a little bit about my story. My husband and I got married very young. I was 20, he was 19. We had our son 9 months later. He was a honeymoon baby. And we were both going to college, and then we both dropped out because we wanted to be entrepreneurs. And so I was at the time, let's see, my son was like 6 months old. I was waitressing, making really good money that way. But I just knew there was more. I knew that I wanted to find something that could really develop me into a better wife and a better mom and a better, leader and things like that. And so I started direct sales. I joined up with a skincare makeup company when I was 21. And I did really well there. I was able to stay at home with my kids, which was my number one thing I wanted to do. And then also I was able to travel the world and earn cars and trips and recognition. And I was able to do all these amazing things. And then unfortunately in 2017, that chapter closed on me because the company closed down. And so I can very much relate to women who have ever had a curveball hit them when we least expect it. But just understand, I'm very much about when God closes a door or a window or door, he opens up a window, right? So we never know what God is doing behind the scenes. And little did I know that it was going to lead me on a path of being able to do more and help more people. And so that was in 2017. I left the skincare and makeup industry and I went into health and wellness. And so that's what I've been doing now for the last almost 8 years. And I am able to make a full-time income from home with that health and wellness company. But also, I'm a live video coach and I really, really love helping women in business scale their businesses online using social media and live video because that's what I've been able to do myself.
Wow. Okay. So back to like the health and wellness. So, how did you balance that? Like, was it something like somebody kind of told you about, and then it kind of helped you like go, okay, this is the way I want to go, and this is how it can work? Or did you just try to like, did you figure this out on your own
So
of like
let's,
how to market, how to
yeah.
sell?
So if we go back to when I first got started in direct sales, I was ignorance on fire. I had no idea what I was doing. I was just excited. So if that's one thing I can tell you, be excited about your business because
Hmm.
other people are going to feed into your energy and want to be a part of that, right? And so
Totally.
I was ignorance on fire. I was excited. I was like, this is such a great way to stay at home. And I was also able to get out and have adult conversations when I was booking my home parties and the vendor events and things like that. But I just failed forward. That's what I'm very good at that. I mess up a lot. I make a lot of mistakes. The one thing I don't do is I never quit and I just keep going.
Mhm.
That's another tip, never give up. If it looks like nothing's happening or you feel like your business is stuck,
Yeah.
just keep going because there are people out there that need what you have to offer. But
Yeah.
if you stop, they're never going to know, right?
No, it's so true. It's so true. Yeah, there's a lot to be said about not giving up. Even when it doesn't seem like anybody like understands what you're doing, because there's a lot of well, okay, so like in the circles that I'm around, like digital products, things like that, that's just like common everyday vocabulary now. To some people, it's like, wait, what? And
Mhm.
so, so you're going to get whatever you try to do, whatever you try to start, you're going to get people who don't understand
Mhm.
or think it can't be done or whatever. And so you're just going to have to kind of put those noises on. I wouldn't even say put them on the back burner. They don't even need you to be there. I would just throw them away. That's what I would
Mhm.
do. I would just throw it away and I would just keep moving forward. And again, find your community and find the people to surround yourself with who are going to encourage you, who are going to be like life-giving to you, and who are going to just speak positively into you. And so, and pray with you and really work this out with you. So that is important for sure. Okay, so you're life coaching. So you're still doing the wellness thing, and then you've started a life coaching or live coaching?
Live video.
Live.
Live video.
Okay.
Okay, so let me just share how that kind of came to be. So at the very end of my career with my direct sales business, I was the number one director in all of USA, Canada, and Puerto Rico. Okay, and I attribute that to doing Facebook Live parties with my skincare and makeup business.
Hmm.
Okay, I became known as the Facebook Live video queen. And it was really just, I mean, I was getting out there. People in my business were actually messaging me, wanting me to teach them live videos. And if you ever want to know when you're about to, maybe start a business or something, when people keep asking you the same questions over and over again, you're like, maybe I should like charge people for that or for this or start a business doing this or something like that. And so I was like, okay, this sounds fun. So honestly, when my company went down, was when I started to brand myself.
Yeah,
Okay.
that was
Because
smart.
yeah, and here's the thing,
That was smart.
We never know what's going to happen to our current company, but like I was, that brand. That's what everyone knew me as. And so I decided after that, I booked a photo session with my friend Kayla. We did some branding photo shots, and then I branded myself Joy Farley. So that no matter what I did, it was all underneath that umbrella of my name.
Oh yeah, that was
Right?
smart.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very smart. But I had seen people doing it, and I was like, I'm gonna do that. And so this green color, this Kelly green is actually my branding color. I love the color green, and so yeah, I started to brand myself, and then in 2021, I hired a coach. She was a business coach that basically helped you, create your one-on-one signature program. And so I have a program. It's beautiful. It's called the Joyful Method, and it's a 12-week live video coaching program that helps women build confidence, get over their limiting beliefs, show up on video consistently, and scale
That,
their businesses online. So
oh,
I
that's
do have a
powerful.
program. Yeah, yeah.
That's powerful.
So it was fun. Like, and it was so cool because I was able to hire her. And for 3 months, she was my coach and she took everything in my head and we put it into a program. And
Mhm.
so I've taken very many women through that program. And that's what I have for the live video part. But
So,
that's how I got there.
so have you ever found yourself like needing to like record for these videos or doing a one-on-one or anything like that and then, hey mom, I need your help. Mom, when is dinner ready? Mom, I'm hungry. Just, hey, where's this? All the things. I was supposed to be here, mom. What are you doing? Have you ever come across anything like that? And then if you have, like, what do you do? Do you just stop what you're doing? Like, how do you balance that?
Yeah, that's a great question. So just remind me about the second question. Sometimes I always just answer the first, so just remind
Oh,
me of the
I'm the
second
same
part.
way.
Okay.
I might even forget what my second question
That's
was.
okay. That's okay. So how do I do it? Okay, so basically the thing with live videos, okay? I was actually coaching one of my girls the other day about it. She's like, I'm just gonna record, the opening of my wellness box and put it online. I'm like, why don't you do a live video? And she's like, oh, I don't know
Yeah.
about that. She's like, Joy, there's just too much going on in my house. Okay.
Hmm.
Here's the thing about live video. People love it because it's
Yeah.
like a reality television show and they just never know what's gonna happen next.
Yeah.
So I
I
remember going,
say,
yeah.
I always say, look professional without looking perfect.
Yes, yes,
Like,
100%. Yeah. So I just remember, I was doing all my live videos and, you know, the UPS man would knock on the door. I'd
oh
go
yeah.
open the door during a live video, or the phone would ring, or a kid would come up to me, or I remember having to nurse Graceland, my 5-year-old, doing a live video because she was hungry. So it is what it is. It happens. That's why I love live video so much because it just shows people that you're professional, you're not perfect.
Yeah.
Right. But
Absolutely.
it's like Joy's still doing it all. She has 4 kids and she's
Yeah.
still doing her
Yeah.
business. Like, how inspirational is that? And so that's one thing I want to say about the live video. Now, if you're recording reels, I think it's important that you carve out at least like one day a week, like for 2 hours,
Mhm.
where you're recording videos uninterrupted. Okay, so this might mean you have to wake up even earlier than the kids do, or when they go to school, or if you're homeschooling them, you need to bribe them or do whatever you got to do. But say, listen, I need like a good hour. I need like a good hour to record some videos, and then reward them. Do a little point system or something for when
Yeah.
they're being really quiet for you when you're recording your videos. But I always tell people, I'm like, let your family know ahead of time, set the
Yeah.
expectations,
Yeah. I want to
right?
say something with that really quick. My kids are almost 16, 14, almost 13 and 11. And when I had 4 and 4 years. And so I wasn't doing live videos, like 10 years ago,
Mhm.
but I was doing a lot of baking, a lot of, things like that, trying to get orders out for people. And so I would teach my kids, I would prep them, okay, in 30 minutes, mom is going to be busy. Okay.
Yeah.
So what toys do you want to play with? And I would make it special. So like each of them had their own like little blanket and they would all find what blanket they want and they would find 2 toys. And I always picked toys that they could like do like Lincoln Logs or blocks, something that they had to like work with and not just like
Yep.
stare at.
Yep.
And I taught them to kind of like take like be self-sufficient in that time.
Yep.
And now like I'm like, hey guys, I'm gonna be on, a live really quick. And they're like, okay. And they're all doing their thing. They're
Yep.
taking care of themselves. And so if you don't have young kids to train,
Yep.
like you said, there has to be other methods for you to be able to get that done.
Yeah. And another thing I remember, like, I'm telling you what, when they're little, it's really hard. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I remember, so we have 4. Our son is our oldest, he's almost 18, and we have 3 daughters that are 15, 10, and 5. Okay. I remember the first 2 were 2 under 2. That was almost impossible. I feel like I don't even know how I got through that. Like, how in the world, like, were they all still like living and breathing and fed and all that stuff? And I just remember, like, when I was trying to build my business from home, I got really discouraged because I looked at all these women going across stage and I was like, I don't know if I'm ever going to get on stage because I've like raising these humans and things like that. But here's the thing, like they're our number one priority. Come on now.
Yeah,
Right? Like our babies are our number one priority. And we basically only have 18 years with them, like under our roof. I mean, some stay longer, that's okay.
yeah, yeah.
But it's one of those things where it's like there is a season for everything. Even the Bible talks about it. There's a season, right? And so I understood the assignment and I said, I'm going
Yeah,
to do what I can with the time
yeah,
that I have and I'm going to be
yeah,
consistent as possible. Thank the Lord, I have a supportive husband and he helped me and he would watch the kids when I would go do my parties and things like that. My mom is great. Shane's mom was great. Like I had a lot of help,
yeah.
and I'm very blessed that I did. And if you don't, it's okay.
Hmm.
You make sure that they're your priority, but you find pockets of time where you can work your business. It
Yeah.
doesn't have to look a certain way.
Exactly. For me, I am a type A person by nature. I've learned to like let some things go the older my kids get, but I'm also a morning person. So 5:30 to like 8:30 is like my go-to. When I say I hit the ground running, I literally hit the ground running. Like literally in those 3 hours is whenever I work out, I have my quiet time, and then that's whenever I work on anything that I need to get done because by the afternoon, I know like I know that I'm either exhausted by the afternoon and so nothing's going to get done, or the kids really want to have the schoolwork is done and they want to just have time together. And so,
Mhm,
so I know for me, it's early in the morning. I know
mhm,
that that's not the case for everybody.
mhm,
But you're right. You do have to figure out what works for you. Um, so, um, so you said you hired a coach.
mhm,
And so did this coach actually helped you create
mhm,
a course to
mhm,
share?
mhm,
See, and here's my thing, and I've said it before, and I promise you, whoever's watching will that continues to watch will hear me say this over and over and over. We're all a teacher of something.
mhm.
We all have a story, we
Yeah.
all have an experience, we all have something that we can use
Mhm,
to share, to guide, encourage, inspire,
mhm.
and make money from it.
Absolutely.
Like, and make money
Hmm.
like you're not, I mean, yes, in the beginning, there's probably a time that you do give away things for free. You know, you have your
Absolutely.
beta people,
Yep.
your beta, beta readers, beta, hey,
Yep.
try this product out type thing.
Mhm,
But
mhm,
it would be silly and foolish
mhm.
not to make money off of something that you've been through.
Yes.
And because that would not be a good steward of what God has brought you through, what He's given
Mhm.
to you, what He's placed in your hands, the desire He's given you. It would not be a good steward of that. That's just my opinion.
Yep. No, I totally agree. I think when I first launched my course, I discounted the price and I was like, I'm looking for beta testers,
Yeah.
who want to work, go through this live video coaching program with me. And then basically all I said in return was you're going to get a discounted price. And then I just need your honest feedback, like how you thought the course was, what you think that it was maybe missing or what you thought was like maybe not clear or whatever. But that's how you get it perfected. And I'll tell you too, Kelly, it's still not a course online that people can buy. It is still something where it's live with me. So I'm just telling everyone out there that's listening to this, Joy needs to be accountable to getting it recorded already. Cause like I've had this for 4 years,
Oh yeah.
you know,
It's time.
I know it is. It really is time. Like, 'cause there's five modules, and each one of them, maybe like, maybe you just need one of them, not all five, right? So it's one of those things where it's like, I just need to get it done already. But Kelly's right. Like, we all have something we can teach. We all have something that's going to help inspire other people. And we all need to make money because we have bills and we have debt and we have things we want to save for and we have kids and they're expensive.
Exactly. Okay, so really quick. So speak to the mom. She's a stay-at-home mom. Maybe she homeschools. Maybe her kids are in school, but she stays home, right? And she's a busy mom. But she knows that God has placed something on her heart. She's not really sure yet, maybe what it is. Maybe she is sure, but she just knows, okay, I feel like I'm in a season where I can do both and do it well and do it with excellence. What would be your first step of advice to her?
To get started, you mean?
Yes, to get started.
That's a good question. I think I heard this quote many years ago from a pastor, and it basically said, if you want to find your purpose, find your passion. Right? And so ask yourself, what am I so passionate about that I could talk about all day long,
Hmm.
and I could do all day long, whether I got paid for it or not.
Yeah.
That's probably what you're going to do.
Yeah.
Right? And so for me, live videos, I mean, I could literally talk on live videos all day long because I love it so much. One of my gifts is definitely speaking into women and
Mhm.
inspiring them and motivating them and things like that. And I
Yeah.
have really no issue being in the spotlight because I kind of like it, not gonna lie. But
Hey.
anyway, so you just gotta, you gotta figure out what that is. But I honestly would, I mean, if y'all are not using Chat GPT yet, I would literally just go to Chat GPT and say, okay, here's my idea. I want to make
Yeah.
money from it. I want to create something. I want to do something. How do I get, like, what are the first 5 steps of getting started into this direction or something? And I think that would be very clear with step to step, instructions
Absolutely.
for you to do. Another thing I would do is
Yeah.
I would find people who are doing what you're doing and I would follow them. Okay. So
Yes.
go to
That
social
sounds
media. Yeah.
counterintuitive. Like,
Yeah.
why would I want to do that? I might get, the imposter syndrome. I might feel down on myself because they're already making their millions and I'm just getting started. But there is something about that when you're rubbing shoulders with, I mean, and it doesn't even have to be like a face-to-face thing, but when you are around other people doing what you're doing, you learn a lot.
A ton, a ton. So that's one thing I want to share with you. Yeah, you could make it a
Mhm.
comparison game, but we're not doing that because we don't
Yeah.
compare. Because you know what? Comparison is a thief of joy,
Yeah,
right?
it is.
So we're going to keep our blinders on. The sole purpose of following people is to get an idea of what kind of content they're posting about. So then you can recreate content and make it your own,
Right.
right? Also, you're going to find your ideal clients at those pages, people that
Mhm.
are, looking to buy what you're doing. And so I would do that. Another thing that I would do is I would put together a questionnaire of market research. If I,
That's
I'm trying to
great.
think. I've got some questions I probably can send over to Kelly that help me get started with getting like
Yeah.
people like, to kind of ask people what they're looking for and this kind of thing. So just remind me, I can get it over to you. Um, but it's really helpful because that really helped me. So I just basically started sending it out to like all of the people that I knew loved my live videos. And they filled it out for me. And I literally was able to start from there to create the program that is now something that I get paid for.
I think that's great. I really do. Yeah, I think step one is if you already know what you're kind of wanting to do, just start. Like, don't worry about your email list right now. Don't worry
Yeah.
about a website. Don't worry about all these things. They do come. If it's baking, like for me, that's where I started. I started baking. That's what I was passionate about. I mean, I can talk about
Yeah.
bread all day long. I love
I
bread.
love, I love me some bread.
I love bread and I make sourdough bread and I love making different. Okay, see, here we go. We're going
Yep.
off on bread.
Yep.
My favorite, I will say this, my favorite is the caramelized onion and white cheddar loaf. That's my favorite. And I'm actually making a caramelized onion and Gouda cheese one this week too. So
Oh my gosh,
that's
Kelly,
my
my
favorite.
mouth is drooling.
I know, I know. So, but yes, all I did for me, all I did was I pulled a loaf of pumpkin bread out of the oven that I make every fall, snapped a picture and jokingly posted on Facebook and was like, who wants to come over for, for pumpkin bread? Girl, I had orders coming in. And that is kind of where my baking journey started. That was it. It was that simple. I paid for our Christmas that year.
When
Christmas was
when did
completely.
you when did you start that?
I started 2016.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
and that was before
Okay.
that was before Chat GPT, first of all. That
Right.
was before farmers markets. That
Mm-hmm.
was before it was actually before businesses exploded on Facebook. It was just you got on Facebook to be
Yep.
with your
Yep.
friends that you
Right.
knew that you went to high
Right.
school with or whatever, family, whatever. And so yeah, and all it came from was just something I was passionate about,
Yep.
jokingly just
Yep.
was like, hey, who wants a loaf? Ha ha. And then people were like, that looks amazing. I'll take a loaf.
Awesome.
And then,
Yep.
like I said, that's where it started. And so there's a story, I want to say it's in Second Kings, and it's Elisha. And he comes to this widow and she's like, I need you to help me. My husband's dead. We don't have any money. My two sons are going to be sold into slavery. I think it was two sons. And Elisha was like, what do you want me to do about it? What do you have in your home? And that always stood out to me because what I had in my home was a passion for baking.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I used. And so I tell women, even in my networking group, I tell women who come to talk to me who want to get coached by, like, hey, I have an idea, want to start. How do I start? Is what do you have to start with? Like, look around your home. What are you passionate about?
Mm-hmm.
Start there. And then, second of all, I would say is ask the Holy Spirit to just help you, like, oh, I love books. I have a whole library of books. Okay. Ask the Holy Spirit, okay, how can I use that as a form of business?
Yep.
Or give me the creative ideas. I mean, God's still creating. He's still breathing on creative ideas. And so we just partner with that. So
Amen.
I'm good.
Yes.
Okay, so do you have any last advice for the mom ready to go?
The thing that is coming to mind for me is I heard this quote years ago, and it was never compare your beginning to someone else's middle,
Mm,
right? So as you're getting started in your journey, like it's your journey,
yeah.
stay in your lane. It might take you longer to get the whole, the hang of things, and that's totally okay. But I will tell you, God's timing is always perfect. And he is working behind the scenes when we don't even see it. He's working. There's a song, right? When I don't see it, he's working. When I don't feel it, he's working. He's always working. Yep, I know. And I'm like ready to sing it.
I'm hearing
And
it.
so, just remember that if God is for you, who can be against you? And
Mhm.
just, if there's a limiting belief or a lie that, comes in, of course, the enemy comes to steal, kill, and destroy. You have to replace it with God's truth. And so, what in the world? Sorry, I just smeared my stuff all over my eyes. Um, But anyway, so I just know for me, if there's a thought that comes in, and I had this limiting belief for years that I was never enough, right? And so I
Yeah.
was always producing, always feeling like I had to do more, always hit the next goal, the next rank, the next success, whatever. And then God really, last year came in and cleaned house. And I feel I made a rededication to my, to my to him. I got baptized.
Mhm.
And I feel like a brand new person. And the thing is, it's like all those limiting beliefs I had placed on myself, I have since then replaced with truth. And so, how do we know God's truth? We get in His Word, we spend time with Him. We make sure, just like Kelly was saying, she does really well in the mornings. That's what I do well in the mornings. I wake up a little bit earlier, I spend time with Him. I started doing verse mapping, it's changing how I'm diving into scripture. I do walks in the morning. And so, you first have to take care of you before you can do
Yeah.
anything else. And it's
Yeah.
important too that, as God is filling you up, that's how you can continue to pour out on others.
So good.
Yeah.
So good. Well, I mean, I think we really covered a lot. So, I mean, we covered what you do, how you started. Um, where do you see yourself in the next, let's just say 6 months? Where do you see yourself in the
Ooh,
next 6 months?
6 months. Okay.
I know. Or do you want to
I
do
am,
a year or 5 years?
you know what? Let's go with 6 months because
Let's do
I'm excited for what God's been doing. So, it's pretty crazy. Once I decided to have Jesus as my business partner,
it.
okay. Um, Things have been coming a lot easier for me because I'm not in that rat race of like hustling and like chasing the next success and things like that. And so in 6 months, what I'm currently working on right now is advancing in my health and wellness company, which would allow us to have a down payment for our dream home. So that's my goal. So 6 months, my hope is that I've advanced and got some bonuses and I can use that to save for our dream home.
Let's go. Let's go. I love it. I mean, that is a worthy goal. That
Hmm.
is a worthy goal. I mean, I've heard people say, well, I'm just saving for a car. How, I mean, like, whatever it is, like, work for it. Like, get there. I love that.
Well, and
Okay.
I just
Yeah.
want to say too that I was doing a training yesterday with my team, and I just said, you just got to get angry. You just got to get angry with where you're at, like that you're not happy where you are. And it's like this burning desire for change.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm just so tired of saying that we're going to get a dream house. I've been saying it for 17 years. And I'm like, enough is enough. Like, let's make this
I
happen
need
this
you to come
year.
back for a part two because I could really share with you, or maybe I'll just call you one day
Okay.
because I'm right there with you. There's a lot to be said there. And yes, and I will say this really quick is um being women of God, there
Mm-hmm.
is such a spirit of acceleration
Mm-hmm.
over things right now that
Mm-hmm.
what would have taken 20 years is
Mm-hmm.
not anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to tap into that stream. Like, I don't want to like look back 6 months from now. Let's just say 6 months. I don't want to look back 6 months from now and go, why didn't I do that? Why didn't I start that? You gave that to me. Many people are like, God, I really need groceries, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And they've got a whole thing of groceries, but they just won't go and tap into it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the same thing. The Lord has given us so many resources and so many ideas and everything. I mean, He's the one that gives seed to the sower. And so I would just start partnering with the Lord and just saying, where do you want me to start? And maybe quit begging, like, okay, give me an idea, maybe start just looking,
Mm-hmm.
oh, give me money. I want my dream home.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, we partner with faith, you
Mm-hmm.
know, faith without works is dead.
Good. Uh-huh.
So we operate out of faith. And so I just would say that. Okay, one
Well,
last thing. Oh, go
I
ahead.
was just say one thing. So the difference, honestly, and how I'm showing up with how I used to show up is being a Christian, is more than just saying you love Jesus and carrying on your life, right? Like just it's being a disciple, which means laying down your life to
Yeah.
follow Christ, which is a whole different conversation that we could be talking
Yeah.
about. But I just want you to know that since I've co-partnered in life and business with Jesus last year, it is almost like I have too many ideas now.
Oh, I know.
Like it's just like a downpour, like an overflow of like resources and
Yes.
people and connections. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, if the Lord, I mean, he's just bringing me, like even you, Kelly, right? Like we just met last week and I'm just like, this is my person, And I'm
Yeah.
just like, God, thank you for the connections and
I
for the
know.
appointments and for the ideas.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, I'm just saying, I'm not struggling because I'm not working out of self anymore. I'm working
Right.
from the Holy Spirit living inside
Right.
of me,
Which is a
right?
different type of work.
It is. Mhm.
It is not a striving.
Nope.
There's
Nope.
just something different about it.
Well, and it's the verse that says, "Do everything that you do upon unto the Lord."
Yes.
Right? So instead of me like just wanting to look good in the spotlight, like I'm the same person now out there that I am at my home, right?
Yes.
Like I'm not a different person.
It's true. It's
Yeah.
true. I
Yeah.
totally identify with that completely.
Yeah.
Completely. I love it. Okay, so how can people reach you?
Okay, so I think that what I really want women come into is my Unshakable Christian Women's Community, and it's a
Okay.
free Facebook community. You can just search for it on Facebook. I try to do weekly live videos and just different things here and there in that community. And then you can follow me at Joy Elizabeth Farley on Facebook and on Instagram.
Joy Elizabeth Farley.
Yep,
Okay. And what is that Facebook group that you were saying? What's it
it's
called?
Unshakable, and it's spelled with an E, so Unshakable Christian Women's Community.
Okay, great. And we'll have a link to that and everything. Well,
Yep.
Joy, this has been so great. I asked this question to my other guest. Is your house messy or clean right now?
I love that question. This is what I always tell my husband. This is what I always say. When my house is a mess, you know that I'm working.
That's great.
Okay? Because when it is clean, it means I got nothing going on. And it's a mess right now because we're in the middle of a move. And so there are boxes everywhere.
That's
So,
great.
yep.
That's great. Okay. Well, thanks again. I so appreciate this. This has been so much fun.
Oh my gosh. Thank you for having me. It's been great.
All right, guys, y'all can go to her Facebook page and check her out and get to know her a little bit better. I mean, like she said, she is not one without words. And so she loves connections. And so, yes, so reach out to her. And I hope you guys are having a great day working from home while you're hustling. We'll see you next time.